16-5, 16-6.
Oh, he's getting bold. Let's go then. Let's go into the game with DDK and Sadicus. Tell me about Peter and the wonderful CLG.
Alright, thanks guys. So Fnatic versus CLG, first match of day 2 here at the MLG X Games, and we're into the pistol right now. As the push is just going to come into the B-bomb site straight up. Very simple. Can CLG pull off a nice execute here? Pronax defending well on the side. That's Tarek down already. He's with the trade. Flusher is smoked off on short, so this is not looking too bad, but in comes JW from the apartments, and that's one frag. Good pressure onto headshot. JW with excellent positioning here, doing so much damage to this team. Flusher cleaning up from short now as they bear down on the last player, Cutler. He will go down and the defuse will come in, so good start there for Fnatic on the CT side.
Yeah, good retake. JW really smart to already be moving through underpass and get behind them from the apartments, and that completely caught them off guard, and when he picked off the first player, it was pretty much all over. Just want to go back, though. Yesterday, Thorin called me out quite accurately for being wrong about who moves forward in the groups. He said no matter what, NiP moved forward today and would be #1 in the group. That's actually wrong. If Cloud9 beat Dignitas, they would be #1 in the group.
If Cloud9 beat Dignitas.
I know, I think he just assumes Cloud9's out of it, but I got back at him. That's all I really wanted out of that.
And that's going to be the last match, I think, of these group games. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that turns out. But back into this one, you know, Fnatic starting off on the CT side, they already mentioned how they feel like Fnatic should just be way more dominant on this map. I agree completely. Right now, as we're going to see Fnatic just defending against this pistol, just some pistols actually, not full pistol armor, as they did get the bomb down. So we have to get that buy coming in on the round after this one.
That smoke was a little bit off too, as you can see. JW just had enough line of sight to do some damage, and Crim's popped out as well. And there's not much left hope here for CLG, as Finesse is on 2 HP, Peter on 19, both sitting on the A ramp. Bomb's already down and in full control, so no surprise they'll take the second gun round as well. And we start off with a quick 2-0. And it's all the hard side for Counter Logic Gaming, because as we mentioned, or as Thorin mentioned, they're such a great C team in Fnatic, and on a map like Mirage, where they're so competent and so well organized, it's going to be extremely, extremely hard for CLG to get on the board, and they're going to do it. They have to do it early, and they have to build economy to get Peter's op out. They've gone for a scout on him this round, though. This could be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Crims as well is that he plays connector on A, so Crims actually has the hardest job when it comes to defense, because he has to split his attention between so many different angles. But hold that thought, we do have a push coming up here on Fnatic's mid here. Pronax up, and Fnatic are really good. I think, in my opinion, the best team at doing aggressive mid setups. You can see how defensive they are here. Pronax looking towards underpass, JW looking up there. Got a player on connector. In they go, though. That's actually a frag from Finesse, but 2 coming in from Fnatic, so getting by far the better of these trades, as this buy round for CLG not going quite to plan. Just Tarek left, he's going to get finished off by Crims, and that little setup there, you're going to see that a lot from Fnatic, I think, at least in 2 or 3 more times on the CT side, and it's always a joy to witness.
Yeah, interesting they went for a force buy like that in the 3rd round, because, and interestingly as well, because they took the bomb to middle, it almost was like they had no play to work toward a site. Finesse walked out alone with it. They were basically just looking for early picks, and now they're back to pistols. There was no execution on it, so already a bit questionable T side. Yeah,
I think they were counting on no AWP being in play, and they had some AKs, so I think that was the idea. But yeah, it's not going so well, and we'll have to see if they're going to be able to recover here now, as it's again a save coming in for them.
They're going to work it through apartments, but as we can see, Flusha is on catwalk. He's already working back toward the B site, and Pronax sat in behind the stack as well, so they've both got line of sight, and any second FNS is going to cross over, and there it is. Pronax spots him. Now that nade's going to come in. That's going to do good damage to 3 of them, and as they drop down, Flusha should know. Flusha, man, oh man, he hasn't played yesterday. He better show up today, because he's down already, and Hazed caught Pronax finally. JW does respond with a grenade into Hazed. But there's only 3 players left, and the bomb has gone down for CLG, so regardless of the fact that they don't have guns, it is a good eco round. Crims, meanwhile, will get Tarek. Retake's going to have to be quick. Peter, wow, picking up that M4, takes down Crim, so all on Olaf Meister JW, and Olaf's got the op up close. He's going to get relentless with it. He walks forward, pardon me, that's JW, as he gets Finesse behind the bench, and time has been ticking for quite some time, though. Oh, they're going to get on it. He's got no kit, but he did pick up a kit. He did get one on the way to it, so they close off on the kill. No! Wow. Cutler's going to come back out and get him, so well played right there. And my mistake, he didn't have a kit. The logo showed up on his head. I thought he picked one up. It was because he was defusing, but nonetheless, what a hold from
What a disaster for Fnatic. I mean, you know, JW having to, like, look at that, how awkward that was. being put in that spot with the AWP where you got to retake against a bunch of players on the side. It's a really smart play to like drop the smoke and try to force CLG to kind of come out of their positions because they're afraid of the hold on the defuse. But wow, now Fnatic in with the buy again. We've got JW going for that quick timing to the left side of the window there with the AWP. But CLG playing it defensively. This is pretty smart. Peter just checking for any aggressions. And there's the smoke. That's going to allow them to slowly move out into the middle here. And now this is where Crims is going to start being important eventually. As if when they try to take connector, that is what Crims is there to do. He's there to stop them from getting control of that middle area of the map.
Oh, well-timed flash because Peter might have had a shot onto Flusha. And he still may because Flusha's lurking and just inching ever so closely. In fact, he can see him right now. You can't. Yes, he does. Well played. I wasn't sure he was going to be patient enough to get that kill, but Flusha down and out again. So Peter on the board, although he's down to 32 HP from a previous exchange in middle, and JW still smoked out in the window, can't do anything. So Tarek walks all the way up catwalk, and they've got full entrance to B, but watch out, JW's going to try and flank again. He's down below. They don't know he's there with that P250. Pops up, but he sprays away. Didn't try to line up a shot, and Peter only had 32. It would have been an easy kill if he was just a bit more patient.
And JW again with another awkward position. Throws the flash in, can't quite get in there. And they did lose that last round. They had quite a big buy going on, so their money's going to be really stretched right now. You can see they're really feeling that. Just going to hold the exits, try to get some frags, just keep them on the side if they possibly can. So nice shot there from JW, but I've got to say that entry onto short there with that AWP shot was so key, but then he immediately flashed a teammate over who was right close to those boxes to immediately push into B. That's good good forethought there coming in from CLG, and they're not going to be able to take down the remaining players from Fnatic. But
this hurts as well because they just started to get an economical lead, and look, they lost 4 guns at the end of that. So yeah, that really hurts. They lost the AWP from Peter. And even though they won the round, they still haven't got much of an advantage from it at all. In fact, Fnatic comes out a little bit better because JW held the AWP, and they saved 2 M4s, so...
Peter just orchestrating them there. 3-2, actually, CLG doing a really good job to actually stop that initial momentum that sometimes the CTs can get on the CT side of Mirage. It's a very CT-sided map, and that's why another reason why you would expect Fnatic to do so well here. It's one of the reasons why they're so dominant here, is their CT sides are unbelievable. And we haven't seen the A plays coming in from CLG yet. So, we talked a lot, rather, Foreign and Fifth Line were talking a lot about how the A defense is so strong for Fnatic, but so far, CLG been getting the rounds on B. And one of which was just some Tech 9s pushing in through apartments. So here they are again, once again, just taking it really slow, giving Fnatic a lot of respect as they wait for some of the smokes to dissipate here. It's like Finesse and Cutler could cause quite a distraction there on the A site, whilst the bomb is set up to push through the apartments there on B.
And the more time that expires, the better chance of someone over-rotating, because Flush has already pushed out on catwalk. He's peeking middle. He's not going to find anyone there. JW does get Cutler, but that's an A, so they've got to make the call. They are rotating. It's not going to matter, though, because look at Pronax wreaking havoc. Finally, Peter puts him down. But there's only 2 CLG players left, and Fnatic's already arrived. It's going to be Flush at the first one there. Nice shot with the Deagle. Does get Peter down to only 7. And Krim should easily wrap around and take him as he tries desperately to get that bomb down. And now Finesse will drop as well, so a good double from Crims, and Fnatic recover 4 now for them. But CLG, not a bad start. A few more rounds and they might have a case here.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was really nice that they kind of forced this weird situation on the economy for Fnatic. You can see that they're basically, I mean, if they're not going to lose this one, but they're within that realm of ecoing, which you always want to keep that team within, and that's the scary thing for really CT-dominant maps, like, for example, Nuke, Mirage is one of them, Cash can be one like that as well. And the CTs just get all this money, and you keep winning rounds here and there, but you never get the eco, you never get the free one. It's much easier for them to put that situation onto you instead. So this is actually looking like a nice start for CLG, and once again, going to look for that pistol success on B, it would seem. It's worked once. Can they pull it off again here? Pronax needs to make sure that he doesn't go down quickly here. He's going for the jump spot there.
And he's got the nade out too, so he's going to just immediately try and do as much area of effect damage as possible. And actually, Finesse is starting to come around the corner, but Pronax, I don't think saw him on the first jump. He will that time, no question about it. He's not going to bother with the nade if there's only one there. And actually, they're going to fall back when they see him. But FNS has the bomb. He's down toward underpass.
I think they tried to fake out Flusha there. He's waiting on short with some running, and then they stop to kind of fake that they're running back to T-spawn there. Now they're walking back. I think that's the play here. And Pronax hasn't thrown any nades yet.
Oh, but that doesn't matter because they get caught out in middle. as Cutler goes down, so they're already one man down, but here comes the push. Like you said, they did try and fake it backwards, but Pronax is wise. He falls back, changes his angle. He won't get overwhelmed. He, in fact, takes down Hazed and Finesse. Peter, the only one with a kill on the board. Pronax closes him out just like that, so 5-2 now. Fnatic, a 3-round lead, and they look a little more comfortable than they did early on.
It's actually quite awesome how Pronax didn't actually throw any nades out. That was like part of the reason why they were just playing around one player, trying to just bait some nades, but he just held it there, and you could see actually how much damage that HE did when he finally threw it. But let's have a look now, see how this round opens up again. The pistols coming in from CLG, some nades as well. We'd expect something of a bit of a set play, a bit of an execute coming in from them with these grenades and these Tech 9s. JW into the apartments on B now. That's where the players are. Gets the quick shot to Tariq. It's a great opener there from Fnatic. And this is really going to make life difficult now for CLG. JW with another frag. Cutler goes down as JW wreaks havoc on this push. In they come into his pistol. Oh, Oliver Meister with a triple on the grenade. You don't see that every day. But here at the MLG X Games, all kinds of crazy stuff has been happening.
I'm speechless. I've never seen a triple nade in the last 3 years that I've been casting. Maybe before that, I can't remember, but that's ridiculous that they just got grouped up like that. Well played by Olaf. Another note, though, Flusha came back around and had 3 shots, and he's still not hitting. He's still not looking like himself as he whiffed on a few with the M4 there. By the way, the other thing to note, I've yet to see an A-take attempt at all from CLG. Oh, 9 HP now remaining for Crims, and actually Tariq pops out and finishes the work that Peter started. So 1-man advantage, and Peter's also going to get JW, so there's an off battle 1. And now they've got a 2-man advantage. They've got to capitalize on it. They flash off, or pardon me, they flash off on Flusha, and he's going to have to fall back on Catwalk. He'll try and buy himself some time with that smoke, but again, they're still lingering over toward B. Perhaps they're going to change the angle now as they try and get some presence inside Connector.
Yeah, that loss of Crims there does mean the connector is fully open. That connector is going to give them a lot of options towards A or towards B here. And they're going to give it up and go to the
This is interesting. They're trying to go back through T-spawn, but look, Olaf's pushed up. He's already there, and they're going to run right into him, and he's going to get the bomb. That's Peter down, and that's just going to completely hinder any ability of map control they were hoping they had at A. And now Flusha gets FNS. It's falling apart for Counter Logic Gaming, but Cutler's still inside Palace, and Olaf had no idea that he was there, so they do get back 1 man ahead. But the rotates have already happened, so unfortunately that Olaf push really hurt them.
They have a smoke here. They're going to use it on a CT spawn. That's going to allow them to get the bomb down fairly safely. Well, perhaps not. They do get it down, but Tariq dies in the attempt here. That's a good amount of spray there from Pronax. Very precise. As Flusha and Pronax now make their way in together. In goes the grenade. Pronax spots some players towards Shadow. Flusha the one to get the frag. Working as a unit, these Swedish players, as they bear down on the bomb. Defuse.
Pronax is going to hold this. This can't possibly be one. Hayes can't get there in time. He does get the kill on Flusha, but like I said, all he had to do was hold it, so he wins the rounds and frags, but unfortunately it's 1 more for Fnatic on the board.
And Fnatic have like a really healthy bank now as well. And the key thing in that last round was we saw Peter versus JW for the first time, and Peter actually kind of got the better of him. I mean, JW was jumping out the window and did get tagged down, and it was in an awkward position, but still, you know, that's quite nice. But now they don't have the money to buy any orbs anymore, and even the grenade count is kind of low here. We're going to see them going for that kind of split and pick style approach at the moment.
2 damage done to JW there, by the way. That smoke nade making contact. Good touchdown pass.
It all counts. So
Super Bowl coming up soon, and it looks like someone wants to be quarterback in there for sure. Hayes is going to be over toward B apartments again. That's where the bomb's thrown down again. They favor it off the early side of the round, but it's becoming almost predictable because look, Flusha's not even going for that mid control anymore. He's just playing back to support Pronax over toward B.
It's extremely defensive posturing here from CLG. They're really trying to make sure they're safe against any pushes. And Peter actually going to remove himself from the slope and going to go to the B side of the map now. Looks like they want to go for a bit of a delayed mid take, and this could just very well work out. Fnatic's presence on mid is just limited to JW at the moment, that AWP, but he's going to get smoked away. And he's going to fall back towards B. Fnatic, so far, with almost no information about what's happening on the map.
But that said, not a lot of time left for CLG either, considering they've got no map control inside either site. They're going to try and come through from underpass. A nice Incinerary bounced out. That's going to slow them down, and JW picks up 2 quickly with the CZ75. So that's already been stopped, and the bomb's there as well. So really, it's going to have to be magical from the last 3 CLG players, and it's not starting off that way. Olaf takes down Peter, although Cutler and Tariq do respond. And JW not able to connect, so they've got it down to a 2-on-1, but they've got to find Flusha. There's only 9 seconds. He only has to hide in this corner, and Cutler carelessly comes around the corner. He was trying to get there quickly and find out exactly where he is, but Tarek's not in position, and time's going to expire, and in fact, he goes down insult to injury. And man, counter logic just not quick enough. It was a great effort to try and come back after they lost that bomb, but too close and not enough.
They've had so many spots where they can actually, they've been building advantages, creating opportunities. Like there they had another like great advantage, but then kind of just like throwing it away and just running around with a knife. Cutler must have expected that Flusha was just like top mid there. That's the only explanation, or behind the boxes and not in the chair position there. But either way, going to go into the next round here. 8-2 now the score. Fnatic doing a good job to hang on to this lead that they have at the moment, as we see a more considered effort here. Very quick RCLG on middle. That's a nice pick there from Peter, looking towards Connector now for another one. He's got teammates next to him to go for the trade frag when he goes for the peak, but it does get smoked off here by the T's. That's going to allow them to actually take Connector if they want, and just like hang out in there and maybe leave a lurker in that place. Gives them the option to go to B or to A, but they have time now. That's the key point. There is time, but Fnatic gets challenged towards short, and there it is. Finesse takes him down. That's going to open up the B bomb site completely there for CLG. As Fnatic now have JW left alive with the AWP. Misses the shot there onto Hayes, and again, Hayes going to keep himself alive. And again, wow. JW misses. Hayes gets the kill, and now it's on Crims and a 1-on-4 to save this round. And I don't know that I like his chances right now.
Not something we're used to seeing. Well, Tarek's going to close it out as he picks up the AWP from the deceased Peter, but not something we're used to seeing. Flusha not hitting shots. JW whiffing 3 like that? I don't think I've seen that ever from him. And it's not the first time he did it in this map. He's missed a few at mid as well. And we saw Counter Logic pull off a huge... I mean, they've got comfort in rounds because Counter Logic hasn't been able to execute in the end. They've been close. They haven't been able to execute just enough, but they took down LDLC. Fnatic has to think that there's a chance they could do that to them here, and they've really got to tidy it up because they've already got 3 T-side. If they can get to 4, maybe even 5, they might have a chance T-side if they can, or pardon me, CT-side if they can win that pistol.
And all that thought, we might just have JW challenging into Peter, and JW gets a shot on the peak. Peter had the angle, but JW gets the frag, and Olofmeister gets one of the Cutler as well. As the push into A now is forced from CLG, they have to act. In they go, JW gets taken out, but Crimson Shadow raining down the fire with the FAMAS will pick up one. But in comes Flusha for the double, and that's a clean, well, a relatively clean round there. 3 players left standing for Fnatic. That's a 9-3 scoreline now.
And Flusha's already up to 9 frags. So doing much better than yesterday already, as he even only had 10 in that 16-3 win against Liquid. So he's going to have to be on point. Thorin mentioned it. We've made mention of it. So it's good to see him come around and come alive like that. So 9-3 now. It's been closer. Like I said, the rounds have been a lot more even than the score might indicate, but Fnatic's still in the driver's seat. And any round they get is only that much harder for the underdogs here in Counter Logic Gaming. They're going to come around the corner. They've only got pistols to work with. JW again not connecting 2 times this attempt, but there's Flusha again from the catwalk with a double. Can he make it a triple? No. Tarek does drop him in the end as he had to switch over as he ran out of ammunition, but Crims will get Tarek, and Olaf catches out Cutler, so an easy round that time, but again, it was a save for CLG.
And you know, the rounds, some of the rounds that they've won, some of the biggest opportunities that they've had have been from Peter holding the AWP, able to open up mid or to get the better of JW. And you know, once again, we're going to see him holding that big green gun. Can he actually pull out a pick here, a result for his team? He's largely just been challenging mid. We haven't really seen him mess around with the apartments on the other side, but this time it looks like it's going to be different.
The interesting thing is, even though we've been calling him out for some misses, he's still top fragging right now at 15, so his dynamic play style does still find him those kills, and as you can see, he's changed up his angle. He's headed toward the apartments this time, but middle's going to be held by Olaf, and he's already got 1. Make it 2 now as Finesse drops. Make it 3 as he catches Cutler as well. And a great start for this change of play and change of defensive style. Peter now with the op is pretty much just going to have to hold on to it. He's all the way back in the B side, and they're going to hunt him. They absolutely should. They've got the bomb down in middle, and now they're going to fan out across the map and just see if they can figure out exactly where he is.
Yeah, the really funny thing about that round is that that's one of the few rounds that JW actually took, because he had JW's been to B apps once. Also, a great flick there from Peter as he tries to survive here. But like JW's been to the apps like once, but mostly just been in middle. And this is like the one time that Peter doesn't go middle when JW is not there, and where he could have had the biggest impact, which is really unfortunate. But Fnatic with quite a lot of Actually, they don't have a lot of money in the bank here, but we're closing in onto the last rounds here, so it doesn't matter all that much. But Peter should be able to hold on to this with no problem.
I think he's trying to position himself to get kills, though, because look, he's worked into A, and he's actually going to come around on Connector. He might try this 1-on-3, so Peter showing off no fear at all, but watch out, he's got one beside him. He whiffs on the shot. A good attempt as he reacted late, but now he's down to 52, and that's his invitation to run. Now he's going to go back through the vent, head to CT. JW knows he's there, though, and he will chase. There's still 12 seconds, but if he crawls through that vent, it's an easy shot for Peter, so he won't do that. But look at this, though. Pronax actually might catch him. Nice shot. Peter again. Man, where are these shots when it's early in the round? He almost catches JW there, but round expires. He keeps the op. I give him credit. I give him credit for bravery.
Oh, no!
He lost it in the end.
They
wow.
take him down after time. That is brutal. He's got $250 now. That's... Well, you can't do a lot with $250 in Counter-Strike.
Well, it's those little things, those little plays that just really, really hurt. And for Counter Logic in this game, it's...
That's actually massive, though, because if Peter had an AWP in this round, they could turn that into something. But he's got nothing now. And the Galil is the best piece of weaponry they've got on Finesse, and that's it. So... pretty hard times here for CLG, and Fnatic doing a really fantastic job holding on to middle against CLG mostly in these rounds. We haven't seen any executes really coming in from CLG on the A side, but
I know, it's so interesting. So B again this time. They've got Pronax pushed off the van. He's actually back over toward the market. But look at Flusha 3. This time from Cat, he makes no mistake as he takes them all down. Switches over to that Deagle, trying to get Peter as well, and he does so. So looking for the ace. He's not going to get it because Hazed is over toward Olaf, and that'll close out the half. And you're right, not a single A execution that really came in, and that's so surprising because B is actually the less common take in that map.
Oh yeah, and it kind of it shows us why Peter was the guy that gave them their best chances in some of these rounds, because without any of these executes, without any of these map control plays, they rely on him to actually open up with a frag, to actually create an opening. Like, they're not finding it by using smokes and flashes. They did some nice plays here, you know, on middle, when there's like some picks, you know, they're flashing in for teammates trying to take areas. They had some really good pushes on short actually into B, but largely speaking, yeah, but A wasn't really challenged all that much, and
no.
It's always going to be scary against Fnatic, but still, that's no reason not to at least have something going there.
And to give Counter Logic some credit, it was 3-2 at a point. They looked like they had some say in the argument, and there was other close rounds as well, but at the end of the day, Fnatic's just experienced and holds on and gets away with them.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between a pro team and one that's not. They just know how to handle those situations, and even that round where they let time expire in middle, just with Cutler coming around the corner a little bit carelessly. It's the little things, and honestly, that's why Fnatic is this far ahead. So now they'll head over to the T side. It is the less advantaged side in this map, but if they get that pistol, it could quickly be a GG, because they'll work up, as long as they don't get any eco, they should work up to 15-3 off the bat. So
yeah, and another interesting thing is that as far as A goes, it doesn't have to necessarily be like the execute, like some of these executes, like we see all the smokes, like from, for example, Kaboom yesterday, but so, you know, stuff like, you know, having one guy on slope, one guy in Palace, and then three guys with the job to like take middle and like get into connectors. You can have like a three-pronged attack. These are like kind of default rounds. We didn't see so much out of them either. So I want to see if they can turn things around here. They did get 3 rounds on the board, and it is quite CT-sided. So you know, you want to give them the chance if they get the pistol to get on a roll. But it is Fnatic after all, so it is certainly not an easy task to say the least. And it all kicks off now here in the second half on the pistol.
And already change in teams, as you can tell, because Fnatic's gone toward A, and when, like we said, Counter Logic didn't do much of that at all. They'll look for a smoke from Crims over toward jungle. That's where Hazed is going to be playing, and there it is. It's going to drop right in. Hazed now has to play that stair position. That bounce actually is going to cover him off. That is so well executed, and Hazed has absolutely no anger. And look at them, they just pour into the site. Pronax is going to get Cutler, and Peter's forced all the way back into CT. He does get Olaf, who came around the corner with a knife out, questionably. But he gets the information that he's there. They've already got the bomb down, and it's looking really good for Fnatic, but not to speak too soon as Hazed gets back into Pronax, and Peter got a kill there as well, so they go for the retake. They've pinched in on Crims, and now Flusha is all that remains, and he drops down as well. Tarek with a double, and they will get the defuse, so Caster's Curse, I speak too soon. We've got an argument to be made. At least they can make a brief bit of a momentous comeback.
Yeah, but one of the things about this is that it's a similar situation that we saw on the first half, but now CLG are in this position where, okay, the bomb went down straight away for Fnatic, so they save now, and then the AKs come out. And this is going to be kind of before CLG are going to have AWPs on the table, so Fnatic are going to have a lot of like really strong options in the following rounds, and if CLG have a clean one now, they're going to have at best like a bunch of Famishes still. So it's actually going to be really, really dangerous in the next few rounds here for CLG, and Fnatic just going to go the straight up B play here and see what they can do.
And Tarek is going to be tested. He's got that smoke out. He can spot up just a few of them. He'll put in that nade to no avail as they do fall back just a little bit to make sure that situation doesn't happen, no less. And now FNS is pushed up on the catwalk. He gets to be the first to support, but the rest of them are still focused on A. Hazed is back in jungle, could quickly rotate through the vents, as could PTR. But Fnatic is waiting patiently. And again, it's still going to be Tarek, the one that will be tested.
And it is very unlikely that on a round like this that the CTs are going to push for information. So like waiting like this, sometimes you say, okay, and this, it can be kind of bad because then they'll push somewhere, like figure out what we're doing, and then reposition in time. But in a round like this, LCOG just want to play it safe. So this is a really good move from Fnatic, but still, can they actually pull it off? Tarek in the site, really nice angle. So far, so good here, but actually 3-on-3, 2-on-3 now in favor of CLG. Can they keep these three players alive?
Oh, nice shot by Olaf, but they do get him in the end. That was a nice angle by Tarek. You called that. We saw Pronax playing that same position, got Molotov'd out similarly, and he would rotate into jail, which gives us a line of sight as soon as they exit. But by playing that off angle inside the site behind the box, it gave him actually a free shot before he had to be dealt with. So I like that from Tarek, actually. A good play from him.
Yeah, and you can see that
Peter's gone to his scout again, by the way, because they couldn't go for full op, but they want to get him out and into middle. But no one's going to be there just yet.
Yeah, it's looking very sketchy for them here, and Fnatic are taking it very slow. I mean, in fact, we got a bit of a push on middle here coming in from Tarek, fancying his chances there under a lot of fire. Where's the support? He has a couple teammates there, and he does get out of dodge very quickly.
And now they scramble. He pushed up not thinking they were going to have AKs, and they do, so he got lucky to get out of there. And now they realize, and it gives them the information to set up accordingly, because I don't think they expected that buy, even though they got the bomb plant.
As Hayes picking up a kill on Torlef over by the slope there. And, still 3 players on A here for CLG, yet to figure out what's going on, although the connector smoke is going to arouse some suspicion as Crims runs in through short. The trade from JW, a little bit slow there, not ready to find finesse in the ladder room. In goes JW, quick frag on the Peter on the side. That's excellent work there, as that's going to completely open up the site now. Fnatic in a 3-on-3, comes Hayes and Tarek getting some good frags. Flusher has to hold it down by himself now, as he has Tarek and Cutler to deal with. That bomb ticking away, in goes the incendiary as Flusher repositions to the car now. Very nasty spot, and they spray him down. Cutler with the frag, and there goes the defuse here for CLG.
I thought Tarek might try and go for a trade play there where he only had 2 HP, but luckily Cutler got into him first, and actually it allows them to save that extra gun, so that's going to help them as well. And now that breaks Fnatic again, so they should go to 12-7. And I mean, that's not a bad scoreline considering they're on CT. If they can continue that momentum, if Peter can get online, they can hold Fnatic to something minimal.
And that's it. Peter is going to be on the AWP now. So it still is like a little bit dangerous because they need to establish the economy now. So it's always very fearful in the CT's perspective, but they are doing everything they need to do here to keep themselves alive. But Fnatic, again, with some grenades, Tech 9s, some PD50s, could always cause a lot of damage here. Tarek is in a very important position. That's a good nade there. A little bit too deep, it would seem. In goes the incendiary as they charge in onto the bomb site, instantly taking down Tarek. Finesse has to do more work here as Tarek came up with nothing but Pronax onto Hayes. Not looking good here now for CLG.
Not at all, and they've already got that quick bomb plant, so they'll be back into the next round with guns regardless, as Finesse also takes down FNS. So Cutler and Peter all that remain, and they're going to run away and save. So what a take. They came in there. It looked like Tarek actually might have had the advantage where he saw that Molotov come out, but when he fell back, they were wise to his positioning that time, took him down, overtook the site, and JW had a beautiful shot on the way in, so they get back in. We don't get that 12-7 I spoke of. Cutler's at least going to get a consolation prize on to Flusha, but Pronax gets PTR, and he's going to drop down on Cutler as well, and that means it's 13-6 and no guns left.
And they picked up 2 M4s and an AWP. That is a huge swing on the economy there. Fnatic putting themselves in a great position to just take the match at this point because there's nothing on CLG, absolutely nothing. Fnatic will win this round. They're going to have enough bank to be able to lose a round and not have to eco. So CLG now in a ridiculously poor position against Fnatic.
JW pushing up with that AWP and Palace. That's a great play from Tarek. It knocks it down, but Crims is there to trade it out. So they should still keep control of that, but there is another player pushing there. That was PTR. He gets dropped as well, and it's an easy cleanup after JW's death. So 14-6-2 from the GG, and Fnatic looking to become the first team to move forward into the semifinals of the X Games. And Counter Logic Gaming put on a heck of a display yesterday in their first game. Might be the first exit.
Yeah, I mean, they did show some good stuff on the T halves. Like, there were some decent displays of skill here and there, and the problem was it just didn't seem like there was enough structure. Almost reminiscent of the cash that we saw yesterday against Liquid. Either way.
And keep in mind, it is their first nice shot, JW. That's Peter down. It is their first major event as a team, and they've learned a lot, no doubt, and they've played against the world's best. And they can only take away positives from that. Tarek's going to go into Crims. So that evens the round up at least. And now they're actually going to get JW as well. Nice shot by Hayes. And that's going to make things back the way of CLG. But Flusha goes for in. Tarek immediately trades him. Cutler gives him an even further advantage as Olaf drops as well. So Pronax 1-on-3 has it all to do. And he's coming back in from the A stairs. He's going to try and nade off back toward the ticket booth. Tarek's in good position from jungle, and Finesse should pop up. He's done good damage onto Tarek, but there it is. Finesse is there to support his teammate. Drops him down, and Counter Logic at least cut the lead by a little bit. 14-7. It's not done just yet.
Absolutely not here. And they can get, again, Peter online with an AWP. It's all going to hopefully be going a bit better for them. But JW is just like, in these kinds of positions, it's even more dangerous because, well, you know, this guy can just be anywhere. He can just be absolutely anywhere. You just don't know. And they have so much of a round buffer that almost encourages him to be even more risk-taking than usual. So here we go, CLG now. Nice defensive setup. Good spread across the map, actually. They have a good presence in middle. With Peter just spotting. Not looking to take a fight, really, there. Just to give them some information. In come Fnatic for the delayed mid play. They have a couple players towards the B axis. It's looking like a solid B split is coming in. There are the smokes. And this is going to be hard to stop this this bulldozer that is Fnatic rolling into this B bomb site now.
And because of the way they smoked Peter out, as Crims gets two, he was forced out a window, which left Catwalk open, so they got an easy kill on Finesse as well, so the site was cracked completely open. And that's why you need to control that mid. Peter, now the only one inside B, will be there for that bomb plant, will get at least the planter, but a little bit too late as the bomb's already down, and now JW goes into him, and Crims eventually gets that final kill on Cutler. So it's match point now for Fnatic. And they come back looking a lot more organized today and want to get the job done.
Det går 3 av hus och Robin Solvagn ser på oss. You go for a pass entry low dungeon.
Do it. Okay, that's fine. I'll do that. I'm gonna go A-ramp on this one. Take it with him or something.
So all to play for on a force spy as well for CLG, so this is looking pretty grim. They did win one eco in this match. They'll see if they can do it again. Hayes going to flash himself through with that deagle, but he can't find him in the smoke. And oh no, they pass each other, and again they rotate. A loop-de-loo doing a little dance move as they trade places twice, and now Pronax with a double and Olaf onto Tarek. It's looking all but finished as PTR trying to get inside connector, and Wreak Havoc can't find it. JW's there to hold him off with that AWP. Bomb is planted. Flusha looks for one. Nice shots as he gets Peter and Finesse both with headshots. 16-7 your final score, and Fnatic, world #1, had a scare yesterday, no doubt, but they move forward. The first team to do so here on what I call our make-or-break day.
Yeah.
On Saturday. So they move forward into the semifinal. We will determine in the next match who else will pull out of the group, but